fact, we have nothing to worry about. According to our research, the next emission will not occur for at least 2 months, 4 days, and 7 hours. Its intensity will be 3 on the Bergman scale, which is 2.13.
Without going into detail, I must say I have never seen anything like this before. The encephalogram suggests serious damage to the nervous system, but the other indicators couldn't be better. It's astounding.
Perhaps it has something to do with the emission.
Most certainly. Although so far I've been utterly unable to formulate a rational explanation for this abnormality.
Look, he's waking up. You're awake. That's good. Welcome back to the world of the living, Stalker. How are you feeling? Do you remember what happened to you? In the joking mood, eh? That bodes well for your recovery. I'm Lebedev, the group leader, and I'm responsible for everyone here. That includes you, for as long as you're here. We call ourselves Clear Sky, and you are in our base. Lucky? I doubt it. The facts are these. You survived the emission. That's the first thing I still can't explain. The second thing is that our patrol found you in the swamps, which are essentially endless quicksand. And thirdly, you nearly got torn into shreds by a pack of...
I'm glad to see you, young man. You look considerably better. People are mistaken in their belief that they understand the essence of what the Zone truly is. Some consider it to be a universal evil, others a wonder sent down to humanity, and others still consider it no more than a source of riches. They are all wrong. The Zone is impossible to understand when viewed through the prism of human perception. Moreover, it is far too early for humans to even try. Ergo, the actions of both the government and Stalkers with respect to the... Young man, if only I had the answer to that question. We are studying the Zone meticulously in hopes of finding it. The Zone appeared as a result of the actions, let's call them misguided human actions, and we are unable to return to the status quo. The Zone cannot be destroyed, nor will it disappear of its own accord. We, Clear Sky, believe that there is only one way to reconcile man with the Zone: coexistence. How can I best explain? Let's put it like this. Any complicated system in nature, and that includes the zone, automatically seeks equilibrium in the absence of destabilizing external factors. That was the case here in recent years. The zone was stable and there were no significant deviations from the norm. And now we've seen a gigantic emission that has changed the face of... That's what we are attempting to find out. Perhaps knowing who disrupted the zone's equilibrium will give it... Since man caused this mess in the first place, man may well be the only one able to set it right. In any event, I very much hope that is the case. I fear that question is not one I can answer.
Усе, музична пауза.
I see, Little. Just a minute. You became quite a legend while you were out of it. Even you wouldn't believe some of the rumors I've heard. Anyways, well, you drink and I'll tell you about this place. It used to be pretty quiet here. We had the paths worked out, the right places explored, and the approach covered. Of course, the swamps ain't exactly spring break material, but it wasn't too bad either. Yeah, it wasn't too bad until the last emission. The biggest we've ever seen. These days our boys pray both to God and the devil. Before I was collecting bottles one after another and they let me in. I'm kidding. The truth is, there was no place for me left. I didn't want to. In the end I came here. First to the zone and then to Clear Sky. The guys here are alright and I need it here. They come back here after in our base. As you can see, it's a small, sinking farmstead in the middle of romantic, endless swamps. I couldn't tell you where it is exactly, but it's the last place you know why you've never heard of it. Because too many people want to know about it, and the fewer that do, the better. Lebedev is our leader. The man is a rock if ever I've seen one. He's the glue that holds our whole group.
Cole, leave the merc alone with your dirty jokes. I need to see him.
Well, brother, if Lebedev says he needs to see you, that ain't up for a discussion. Go on, I'll catch you later.
Got some fresh air? You look better, that's for sure. Let me fill you in on this situation. You're in the Clear Sky base. Don't try to remember who we are. You've never heard of us, and there's a very good reason for that. Our mission is to research the zone. We believe that, as I said, we are researchers. We are trying to figure out the nature of the zone, determine the reasons which caused it to appear, and formulate the rules that govern its existence. We are not consumed by a quest for money. We don't seek fields of artifacts, and we're not interested in turf wars with other factions. That is why we're hiding here in the swamps and concentrating on our research. Our forte is not combat, but knowledge. Knowledge of the zone. No, that emission was incredibly powerful. It was on a level of its own. It was like a hurricane that swept the whole zone, changing it. Everything is different. The well-known and relatively safe areas have become highly radioactive and full of anomalies. I see. How can I help you? Getting out of here isn't easy, not by a long shot. The swamps are a real maze of reeds and radioactive quicksand. We're having a very tough time here recently.
This is the second outpost. We're under attack. I repeat, we're under attack. Help!
That's enough chit-chat. There's been another attack on our outpost. Help us fight. Great. Get over to the trader, and he'll fit you out with some basic equipment. Trader, a fighter is on his way.
Все тече, все зламалося і нічого не змінюється. Сьогодні сидимо собі спокійно,
Roger that.
горілочку вживаємо. А завтра вже п'ятниця.
Visitor? I'll be right there.
At last. Here, take this basic. I've been ordered to issue you some...
Осе, музична пауза.
Merc, there are anomalies ahead. Be careful. Remember, don't move until you've thrown a bolt in front of you. Oh, by the way, you can sometimes find artifacts in anomalies. You can't see them, but detectors spot them easily enough. If you get close enough, your detector will indicate the location of the artifact, and then you just pick it up easy as pie. Keep in mind that your current detector isn't exactly top of the line. It only shows the distance to the artifact.
А завтра вже п'ятниця.
Merc, there are anomalies ahead. Be careful. Remember, don't move until you've thrown a bolt in front of you. Oh, by the way, you can sometimes find artifacts in anomalies. You can't see them, but detectors spot them easily enough. If you get close enough, your detector will indicate the location of the artifact, and then you just pick it up easy as pie. Keep in mind that your current detector isn't exactly top of the line. It only shows the distance to the artifact. Run for the tower! The monsters can't get you there!
You're right on time, bro. I'm real low on ammo, so let's make the best of it together.
Attention all fighters. An emission is approaching. Get to cover now.
Щось себе оборонити зможемо? Сенс. Щодо мене, так я особливо над сенсом.
You survived the emission again. I'm not even that surprised. Our boys picked you up not far from the tower when things calmed down a bit. You know, Bien Polev was right. You defy scientific... A normal emission is the release of energy accumulated in the zone. A discharge, if you like. But what's happening now is completely different. In my opinion, the increasing regularity of these emissions, it's hard to say. To answer that question, I would need to know what's in the center of the zone. Some say the monolith, others say the wish granter. The more unpretentious ones dream. I didn't think so until the large emission. Hell, nobody thought so. However, if you consider the emissions to be a defensive reaction, then the answer is obvious. Someone made it through the Scorcher, and the emission was this. I know a lot about the zone, but I can't share everything with you. You'll just have to trust me on some things. A system, any system, needs to be in equilibrium. The zone is unstable right now, and You're right, but we do know how to prevent a disaster and stop the emissions, and that means something. We have to find out who was in the center of the zone and stop them at any price. There's a strange connection between you and the zone. On the one hand, every new emission gradually kills you. On the other hand, you survive in situations where others don't stand a chance. My gut feeling tells me that your abilities, your gift, your curse, call it what you will, they mean you can get through places that... I knew you'd ask that. The answer is simple. If the emissions aren't stopped, your nervous system will burn out and you'll die. Unfortunately, yes. So, will you help us? Then listen carefully. We have made use of all our contacts and connections in the zone. As a result, we know that a certain stalker at the cordon was asked through the swamps, of course, how else? But remember what I said. After the emission, a whole army of all kinds of scum turned...
Це що не кажи, не за хабаром в лісі на випадки б'є. Ти конкуренція менше, і мета є. Хоча, мабуть, не найкраща та мета.
Your main guide is the objective section. Your main objective is displayed here, together with a selected additional objective. There can be several additional objectives which you can cycle through using these buttons. Most objectives are also displayed on the map, with the exception of rare occasions when your objectives cannot be located. We will need your help with not only destroying the enemy, but also capturing key positions. In these situations, our fighters will be grateful if you provide covering fire as they capture a position. By the way, don't ignore calls for help. Our boys' lives could be at stake. Hovering over a mark on the map will display additional information. In addition to your objectives, friendly units and identified enemies will also be displayed on the map. Okay, as I'm sure you understand, our main objective is to establish control over the swamps. And that means a war against the aggressor. This section allows you to access tactical information about combat operations at any time.